What's up, y'all? It's Cool Colas here, and I have another cool video. So, today, what I want to talk to you all about is what type of setting that I like to write in the most. So, I'm not gonna lie to you all, this is a topic that I really had to just think deeply about, because typically as a writer, I can write pretty much anywhere, right? I think that some people like just have like their safe space, but for me, I don't necessarily have like such a safe space where I just can't write, for the most part. I think I do pretty well like almost anywhere. I just think that certain conditions have to be clear. So that's kind of what I'm going to focus on here. Not necessarily like the place that I have to that I write at the best, but more so the type of environment that I have to be in that makes me like just flourish the best. So let's kind of get into that a little bit. First of all, I don't really like a lot of sound. The most I may want is some quiet jazz or some type of quieter R&B music. And I may have that if I'm like in a certain flow and I'm like, just trying to get through like a story that I'm writing or whatever the thing is that I'm creating. And sometimes that helps me get through a little bit. Like definitely jazz for sure. R&B sometimes, depending on what the R&B song is. It helps me kind of get through that. But other than that, I want peace and quiet. I don't do well with people having conversations with me while I am trying to type. I don't do well with like a lot of loudness, boisterousness, dog barkings, like babies crying. I don't do well with all that type of stuff. I gotta have like a pretty peaceful environment for the most part. A lot of that stuff, I'm not gonna lie to you, I don't really like on a regular basis, to be honest with you, but I definitely don't really care for it too much when it comes to the writing process, because a lot of times I like the serenity so I can think. I don't like things that cloud my judgment or cloud my ability to not really focus in the way that I want to. And I think that sometimes those things have a habit of doing that for me personally, so I don't like that. I also do not care for clutter. I do not care for if I'm in a dirty or in just unkept environment. I don't do well when there's a bunch of papers on the floor and there's a bunch of cards everywhere, or I know cards is like really random. Who just like says I'm just about to just throw some cards on the floor? But like there's bags everywhere, or there's clothes everywhere. I don't do well in those types of environments either. Now again, I could still write with that stuff around me. I just probably won't be as focused as I probably would want to be. So I would say that that's like a big thing for me, because it's very distracting. It's kind of like the music. It's distracting, but it's more of like a honest, weird how like you can kind of feel the energy of how distracting something like that is, from just something that's inanimate, like a thing of clothes, or like socks, or like papers on the floor, or whatever. Like it's almost as if like the presence of those things together in chaos is just something else, and it doesn't really it's not really conducive to my writing process. Now, what I will say is that I have been less of a neat freak than I've been in the past, because I've been trying to focus on so many different things. It's hard to kind of keep up with being like this clean freak all the time. So I like to straighten up here and there, but I realize that my time gets impacted by spending so much time with the cleaning process that I can't have things as neat and as tidy as I want. And I know that, like, to a certain extent, that probably drives my wife mad, and I'm trying to get better at it. I definitely am. But at the same time, I have to just be very honest about, just the type of lifestyle that I have. I mean, I've been trying to put out so many different projects, right? So it's been harder to do that. But at the same time, I will say that, like, if it is so messy or so dirty that it's like, you can just barely think and concentrate, for me personally, that would impact my writing in a way that would not allow me to be able to just function properly. Another thing too is I have to be feeling good. I mean, I think this is probably a given. I can't be sick, like can't have a headache. Headaches are what really get me. I have to like just be feeling at least 80% good in order to like write something. And what I mean by good too is that doesn't just mean like not coughing and not having a headache or whatever the case is. Like I have to be mentally well too, because I mean, like any normal person, any person who's like willing to admit the things that they go through. I have my moments where I'm depressed, or have my moments where I'm like going through something that's kind of like just bothering me, or I'm frustrated, or I'm irritated. And that can affect my mood too, in the way that I write, in the space that I write in, and like how much I actually get done. So I have to be in the right mood as well too, on top of having little sound, on top of having not too much like chaos around me. Now, where do I usually write at? Typically, I just write on my couch. I have like a couch in my living room, and I'll just sit there, and I'll usually be on my computer and I'll write. I'll have my feet up. So I like to feel relaxed for the most part when I write. There are times where I may sit up and write, and that's just because I'm like trying to like just pound out everything that I'm doing. But for the most part, I like relaxation. I think that relaxation kind of puts me in a mind where I'm able to like think clearly, and I don't feel like stressed by this idea that I have like an urgency to get something done. It makes me feel, really good. If I could, like have an ideal situation, it probably for me would be writing, I would say at nighttime on my couch, or just like, or even like, I wouldn't say in nature necessarily, but like if let's say that I had like a house and I had a balcony, and then it was like nighttime and I was in an area where I wasn't like afraid to kind of like be on my balcony and to be able to write or whatever, and it was like a, like a summer night or whatever, I think that would be dope. But also, I also like, like that indoors feel. I also like the, like being inside and being comfy. But definitely nighttime is I think the big mood. It's like the big mood for me. Like I like writing at night, and I think that, that type of scenario is like more ideal for, what I enjoy and what I find comfort in. Now, other things, just to consider here are just that, it all really kind of like depends on what I'm writing as well too. I think if I'm writing something that, I just have an obligation to do because it's gonna like attract people, or because I want people to see what I have, I may not feel as compelled, to be influenced positively by my environment, because ideas, I may not want to write that thing, but I know I got to do it to get my stuff out there. But I will say that like if it's something that I definitely want to write, even if it's like not really conducive to the projects that I'm trying to put out, or trying to, get popular, then I would say that I probably would be a little bit more motivated. So I think that plays a factor into it too. But essentially, if I had to choose the ultimate place to write, it would probably be on my couch, and it probably would be at night, not too much light, maybe light music if that, but that's probably about it. No talking, pretty much. No, not too much sound. Not too many distractions. A clean place, a clean environment. I think incense would be pretty cool actually. I think that also a diffuser would be all right too. Like having something like that around while I'm doing that. Burning a candle would be cool too. I mean that's fine as well. Yeah, just like something that kind of like has a certain ambiance to it. That's kind of what I like. So I would say that that's probably what would be ideal. But essentially, I could pretty much write almost anywhere. I just know that certain things would affect the productivity, I guess, to kind of describe it. But anyways, I hope you all enjoyed this video. I hope you all enjoyed everything that I had to say today. I hope that this kind of gave you an idea of like just the type of writer that I am, and just some things about me that make me the writer who I am, and the person who I am as well too. So if you like this video, feel free to check out my other videos on IGTV here on Creative Colas, or Colas Creative. Why did I say Creative Colas? Yeah, Colas Creative. But you can go to creativecolas.com. That's my website if you want to check out some more content. I'm going to have a lot of stuff on there. Also, feel free to either look me up on Facebook at my author page, Cool Colas Author. That's where you can find me. Or you can follow me on Twitter. That is at Colas Cool. At Colas Cool. So anyway, again, I will talk to y'all later. There's going to be a lot more videos in stores, so just keep checking up, and I will have a lot for you all to check out. Anyways, like I said, I will talk to y'all later, and y'all have a good night because I am about to go to sleep. Peace.